everybody, and welcome to this week's Cruise Chat. I'm Kathleen Penner, owner of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, and today I'm joined by Cara, and Cara is from Quark Expeditions, and I have had the opportunity to meet with you several times over the past 119 episodes. I've met with you, I think, at least 5 times, but go back and look at the playlist. I have a playlist, all of Quark videos that we've done, and they are phenomenal. She does a great job. I'm so happy to meet with you again. And today, I believe we're going to be looking at some of your Greenland expeditions, which is super exciting. So I'm just going to turn it over to you, and I can't wait to learn along with all of our subscribers.
Thank you so much, Kathleen, for having us back. It's always a pleasure chatting with you. And I get so inspired with your podcast and your YouTube channels to find out where new I should travel and where I should go to. So
Awesome. Yeah.
you're doing a great thing here. And I just wanted to mention a little bit about Quark Expeditions, if that's
Mhm.
okay.
Oh, please.
Just as a reminder for some of you that haven't heard some of the previous podcasts that Quark Expeditions has been on. But with Quark Expeditions, we actually, Kathleen, have been in business for over 31 years now, over 3 decades.
That's
And
great.
so we were the first company to take guests back to up to the North Pole and back in 1991.
Hmm.
And we were actually the first company to take passengers transit of the Northeast Passage as well. So that's a new little fun fact I don't think I've shared
What a
with you
great
before.
honor. Wow.
And then we were the first company to fully circumnavigate Antarctica with passengers as well. So we only do polar travel,
Hmm.
Kathleen. We go to the Arctic and Antarctica. We don't go anywhere else in the world. And that's what I really want people to realize when they're going to these regions. We're specialists.
Yes,
We only focus on these areas. We're not a traditional cruise company that dabbles a little bit in the Arctic and Antarctica. This is all that we do.
that's
So
wonderful.
we don't take travelers anywhere else in the world.
So you've got it down pat. You guys are the true experts. That's great.
And so we do have 3 little ships. So in these areas, Kathleen, it's great to be on small little vessels,
Hmm.
all under 200 passengers. So we have 3 ships, all under 200 passengers in our fleet. And what the small little ships do is the fact that everyone can get off the ship at the same time. So it is really important when someone is thinking of a trip to the polar regions to choose a ship that helps them gain the experience that they really want in these areas. Because some of the smaller ships can go where some of the larger ships cannot. And
Right.
also, it's great to be every passenger, every guest gets to get off the ship at the same time when we're
Mhm.
doing excursions.
That's perfect.
Because the whole point of being on these little ships is to get off these ships in
Right.
these areas. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're there to explore. Absolutely.
So all 3 of these ships are actually in Antarctica with Quark Expeditions, and then in the Arctic, we have the Ultramarine and the Ocean Adventurer. So I just wanted to be clear on that. So the World Explorer is only with us in Antarctica.
Okay.
But another point that really separates Quark Expeditions from other operators in these areas is our expedition team.
Hmm.
So Quark really does have the most experienced team in the polar industry. So after 30 years of polar adventure, our seasoned guides and expedition team and polar specialists have endless passion and unparalleled knowledge in the polar regions. And this really enriches the experience of every guest on board. And Kathleen, something that's really unique too to us is the fact that our expedition team aren't even giving phenomenal great lectures throughout the trip, educational components,
Hmm.
getting out in the zodiacs, driving the zodiacs for guests and sharing what they're seeing, maybe an iceberg or a type of seal and identifying what seal it is. But they're also sitting with guests during dinners and lunch. So that's a really big highlight of traveling with Quark Expeditions. And our ratio is 1 expedition team member to 5 guests. It's the lowest in the industry. So that's not ship crew, Kathleen. That's not
Oh,
cabin attendants and dining room team members. That's expedition team alone.
that's great. That's so good because you really get that personalized attention then. And as you're going out, because they know that area so good because they're there all the time, right? So they, because they know it so well, they can just share with you everything that they know, and you can just feel so enriched.
And I know we've chatted about sustainability in the past too, Kathleen, and I think that it's just really important when travelers are exploring certain areas of the planet. I think we're all, after coming out of what we've all been through, we're really focused now on sustainability more than ever as a conscious traveler. And Quark Expeditions, I'm really proud the fact that back in 2019, Quark Expeditions actually came out with a polar promise. So if people want more information, Kathleen, they can reach out to you to have a full report, a public report on what we're doing for sustainability. But we really do believe that the beauty of the Arctic and Antarctica should be appreciated and preserved for all who experience it. But most importantly, for the next generations to come.
Yes.
And what we'll talk about today too, Kathleen, is communities, because we're speaking about Greenland today, as you mentioned, and a huge piece of sustainability is partnerships. And I'm very proud that Quark Expeditions really creates strong partnerships to promote the conservation in the polar environments that we're visiting, but also having a very close relationship with the communities in which we visit. That's a huge piece of sustainability that I wanted to mention today. So let's dive into the Arctic.
Yes.
And the Arctic is huge. There's so much to see and do. Our season starts at the end of April, beginning of May. So we're actually starting our Arctic season now.
That's awesome.
And it goes all the way to the beginning of October.
Okay.
So lots to see and do in the Arctic. So some really popular destinations with Quark Expeditions is Svalbard. So that archipelago of islands off the coast of Norway, primarily to see the polar bear, but also the Canadian Arctic, Nunavut. But what I really wanted to share with you today is Greenland. I'm really excited about Greenland. I went in 2016, and now I need to go back to see more. It's just such a beautiful place to visit and so different. But Kathleen, I wanted to share with you a great new itinerary that we created for next year that doesn't touch on Greenland, but I just wanted for people to be aware that even though we're polar focused, there are some great itineraries. If people haven't cruised in the polar regions before, but maybe they've had 3 or 4 other really great cruises and then they're thinking of something different, this type of itinerary that explores Faroe Islands, Mayen, and then it ends in Spitsbergen, it's a great way for people to kind of dip their toe a little bit in polar before they commit themselves to a longer, just exclusively polar trip. So this trip is from April 28th to May 11th, 2024 on our brand new Ultramarine. So I just thought I'd squeeze that in here today because there's so much to talk about, but I think this is a really exciting itinerary. And if you and your guests want me to chat about that more in depth at another time, I would love to explore that. So I just wanted to put that out
and
there.
It's over my birthday too. So, hey, that's awesome.
Hey.
Yes, that's cool.
I love it. So let's chat about Greenland because Kathleen, Greenland is known for its renowned, stunning scenery. It's so beautiful. It's got gorgeous ice scapes floating in the water, just beautiful community visits that are native Greenlandic communities, but also a great place for people to hike. And people are really active. I loved all the walking and hiking options in Greenland as well. So just depending on what people are looking for, Greenland really does have it all. Some fun facts too is it's the largest island on the planet.
Wow.
That's a fun fact.
That is, absolutely. Oh, that's cool.
And it's home to the longest fjord systems in the world. So when I went back in 2016, I actually went to the east portion, Kathleen, of Greenland. So I went into Scoresby Sund Fjord, King Oscar Fjord, and it was an incredible itinerary. But there's so many different aspects of Greenland. South Greenland is so different than West Greenland and East Greenland. So people traditionally come and travel more than once to Greenland. So that is a possibility as well.
That's what I was going to say. You can go back the next time and see something completely unique and different. And that's a great way to do it because it is so large and vast, right? That's awesome.
Yes, exactly. And there's so much to see and do in Greenland. I did mention the hiking and walking, the gorgeous glaciers, like the beauty is just incredible. The community visits, but also the ship is always one of the best viewing platforms for scenery and wildlife too. So especially on the Ultramarine, guests choosing a balcony suite or an owner suite to be able to get out on their private balcony to catch the beautiful wildlife and scenery, even from the comfort of the vessel. But I don't think people realize the beauty of Greenland. So this is South Greenland, Kathleen, just stunning. And with the Ultramarine, our brand new ship
Mm.
has two
Mm.
helicopters. So it
Hmm.
has two heli landing pads and two helicopters. So heli flight sightseeing is included for each guest on the Ultramarine in Greenland.
That's
So this is an
incredible.
example of a
Yeah.
gorgeous alpine lake.
Yes. Hmm. Beautiful.
And then our Greenland Explorer and our Greenland Adventure itineraries, which I'll chat about in a moment, actually includes landing on the Greenland ice sheet.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Now that's something that you will never forget. Goodness gracious. Wow, that's gorgeous.
So this is one of the excursions on the Ultramarines ship with the two engine helicopters.
Hmm.
That has the two engine helicopters. And so what's incredible is that every guest will have a view of the ice sheet that very few other humans have ever
Ever.
experienced.
That's incredible. Oh my goodness. Wow.
So the dynamic team of glaciologists to help and
Mhm.
all of the expedition team members, while each guest can explore this really seldom visited body of ice. It's a
Absolutely.
really unique experience, and for all ages. Our
Hmm.
minimum age is 8 years old on all of our trips, but I even traveled to Greenland with an 86-year-old. So it just depends on how active someone wants to be
Yeah.
and what their level of adventure is like, but this is really for a lot of types of travelers.
That's amazing.
But for anyone who's interested in history, South Greenland is definitely a place to explore. It's
Mhm.
incredible in terms of history with the Vikings and the explorers and the Vikings. So
Mhm.
there's even mummified bodies in South Greenland.
Oh, wow.
I thought mummified bodies were left for my Egypt days when I went and explored
Mhm.
Egypt in the tombs, but it's incredible that also South Greenland has that aspect as well.
I didn't realize Vikings did that. That's incredible. Wow.
And then with South Greenland too, you mentioned camping one conversation we had together. And
Yes.
this is a very unique opportunity on our Greenland Explorer departure and our Greenland, our Gems of West Greenland, which I'll share later. And we can camp for one night in Greenland, and it's capped at 8 guests. So we
Okay.
offer two separate groups
Hmm.
throughout the departure. So just check for availability because they do sell out quickly.
They
So
would.
we'll be
Yeah.
offering it this year and next year. So
Okay.
just this is a really exciting opportunity for people to camp in Greenland.
Hmm.
And so we'll use the helicopters to go to the campsite, drop off
Hmm.
the 8 guests for an overnight camping experience. And what's beautiful too is it is an additional paid adventure option for the
Hmm.
camping experience. But people can spend ample time with a small little intimate group walking through gorgeous landscapes and remote fjords on this overnight camping experience. But what's neat too is there is a chef, a Greenlandic chef. So this preparing a great Greenlandic meal on the overnight camp experience too.
That's really neat.
So this is focused on the Greenland adventure.
Hmm.
South Greenland, it's 9 days. We have two departures, July of 2023. So this July. And it's great because it comes in and out of Iceland. Because I know you're actually visiting Iceland
I
this
am.
year too.
Yes,
And
I
so it's
am. I can't
great to,
wait.
if people have not explored Iceland before, it's a great
Mhm.
opportunity to see Iceland and Greenland. So we'll fly over from Reykjavik to a little town called Nursasawak where the ship will be waiting for everyone. And we'll
Okay.
spend 7 nights on board and one night in Reykjavik.
Wow, that's awesome. And that flight is included as part of it.
Yes, there's an additional transfer package
Okay.
that so we can take care of the charter flights.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's perfect because then you don't need to worry about trying to schedule it yourself. That's awesome.
And then with
Northern
Greenland, people don't
Lights.
realize that we also have Greenland Northern Lights programs. And so back in 2016 on my Greenland trip in
Hmm.
September, I was able to see the Northern Lights. So we have designated Northern Lights trips, generally the end of August throughout September.
Hmm.
And it's a wonderful opportunity to have Greenland in the day. So you can do hiking and opportunities for wildlife potentially. But then at night, the sun's setting around 9 or 10 p.m.
Hmm.
And I was gently woken up at about 1 or 2 in the morning, my first night in Greenland, once we were there, because the Northern Lights were putting on a remarkable show.
That would just, oh, that's so high up on my bucket list to see those northern lights. That's amazing because they just dance in the sky. It's just absolutely stunning. Look at all those colors. Wow. Beautiful.
And Kathleen, I was so excited because I had never seen them before
Yeah.
that I woke up and I ran out on deck, grabbed my parka, ran out on deck and realized I was wearing my fleece pajama bottoms still with all my wine glasses on my pajama bottoms.
Oh,
Luckily, everyone was looking up at the northern lights
right. They don't care. Yeah.
instead
Oh,
of looking
goodness.
at my pajama bottoms. I'm pretty sure there were other people wearing their pajama
Yes.
bottoms at the same
But hey, they were fleece. You were ready for it. So
time. Yes.
that's good.
But on our ultramarine, if someone has a balcony,
Mhm.
if someone chooses a balcony, they can actually see them from the comfort of their own cabin. Because for next year, for 2024, we have our Greenland Explorer program. So a
Mhm.
couple of days longer than our Greenland Adventure program, but this is in September. So that's
Okay.
why I also brought up the Northern Lights program, because
Yeah.
guests can have an opportunity to see them on the Greenland Explorer 2024 trip as well.
Beautiful.
So lots to discover. So again, going from Reykjavik over to Nursasawak. And so there's two departures in September of 2024. So
Mhm.
great time to visit Iceland and Greenland.
Yes.
So Kathleen, I just wanted to share a little video, a little testimonial for less than a minute from
Mhm.
one of our guests from last year that experienced our South Greenland program.
So I choose Greenland because I love the country. The highlight of my trip was the opportunity to travel in a completely new ship, specially designed for polar travel. The food that we have is amazing. The camping experience was fabulous because it was an opportunity to spend time with local people. It just makes it magical to be able to talk about how they live. I chose Quark because they are polar experts. They take you to more remote places than some other companies will take you. I get the best experience that is possible.
So thanks, Kathleen. I think that really captures the experience and
Mhm.
the emotion of what South Greenland holds. So again, that's for our Greenland adventure, our Greenland explorer itineraries. But I wanted to mention a couple of other Greenland departures because that's not all. As I mentioned, east, south, west, there's so many different departures that Quark Expeditions offers that includes Greenland. So this is really just the tip of the iceberg. So we do have a great 12-day program, Gems of West Greenland, where people can really immerse themselves along the gorgeous, dramatic coast of West Greenland. So we're also going into community visits, but seeing ice-choked fjords, colossal glaciers, a great voyage for even cruisers, Kathleen, that have been to Alaska.
Mhm.
Gems of West Greenland is a perfect next opportunity to see experiences similar to Alaska, but that I believe that another
Right.
elevated experience.
Yeah, it's definitely a step above by looking at all those glaciers. That ice sheet is just wow, amazing.
And then for this September, we have two departures, and next September we have
Okay.
one. So September of 2024, we have one departure under
Mhm.
the Northern Lights. This is on our Ocean Adventurer ship that I mentioned earlier. So I will share some pictures of the Ocean Adventurer. She is a lovely little expedition ship with only 128 guests. And so
Mhm.
this explores northwest of Iceland first before crossing the Denmark Strait over to Greenland. So exploring areas like King Oscar Fjord and Scoresby Sund Fjord. So this is a fantastic
Yeah,
Greenland itinerary that also explores a little bit of Iceland.
beautiful.
But what I'm really excited to talk about is something that no other operator is currently doing in the polar regions. We have an Inuit culinary experience on board. It is an additional cost. We've called it Tundra to Table. So a great Inuit culinary experience. It's
Hmm.
offered during a few seatings are offered during regular dinner times,
Hmm.
Kathleen. And so we have two Greenlandic chefs on board bringing this groundbreaking Tundra to Table experience to our guests. So it's culinary traditions of the Inuit in Greenland and also Nunavut.
Okay.
So guests who participate in this on-ship activity will
Mhm.
actually enjoy dishes from these Arctic regions prepared
Beautiful.
by Inuit chefs. And also guests can really learn about local Inuit culture and culinary traditions. This is a really exciting new program. We just started it last year and we're bringing it back.
Oh, good.
We got rave reviews. I had a guest sign up for it once, and then their travel advisor said that they signed up for it for 2 more times on board because there was a seat that she could get on because she loved it that much.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. And that's a good testament to how good it is then if she wanted to go back at least 3 more times, 3 full times. Yeah. Wow.
So again, it does happen during regular meal times at dinner. So it is an exclusive experience for selected few guests. And there's a few seatings on each departure.
That's great.
And with the tender to table as well, it's paired with beverages. So depending on the dish, it is paired with either wines or ciders. So it does come with wine. So it's an additional 125 US, 170 Canadian, depending on if people are booking in US or Canadian dollars.
Right.
So we're offering it on quite a lot of departures this Arctic season. Mostly are departures that are focused on the Northwest Passage. But next year in 2024, we're also focusing on Gems of West Greenland, that 12-day departure, and that Greenland Explorer departure as well. So we're having it on quite a few itineraries next year as well.
That's great.
So a lot of these itineraries that I discussed today are on our beautiful ultramarine. And when it comes to polar expeditions, this is an excellent ship to go on. It is honestly compares to no other vessel in these regions. With not only the 2 helicopter pads, she also has 20 Zodiacs. So they're quick deploying Zodiacs. So we can actually get off the ship in half the time of other vessels. So when people are thinking of expedition and getting off the ship as much as possible, this vessel really enables guests to be able to get off the ship as quickly as possible as well. So I just wanted to highlight that. So a lot of these itineraries in Greenland are on our beautiful ultramarine, all outside cabins. We also have solo cabins. So we have 8 solo cabins on the ultramarine. So I know some people want to travel, but they can't find a traveling companion to explore these ends of the world with them. So a lot of people find like-minded individuals on board.
Yeah. Oh, cruising solo is perfect because you're always around other people. It's not like, you're completely alone and what am I going to do with myself? And that room was super spacious for a solo cabin. That's incredible. That's great.
And there's also a spa on board.
Yep.
And a gym. So look at that gorgeous sauna with floor to ceiling windows, the dry sauna.
Beautiful.
But our Under the Northern Lights departure that I shared is actually on the Ocean Adventure. So this great little vessel is traveling with us in the Arctic. She again has 128 guests. We actually did a multi-million-dollar refurbishment on her back in 2017. So a lovely little expedition ship, really loved by a lot of expedition team members as well as past guests. So if someone's looking for more of that tried and true intimate expedition ship, definitely this is a vessel to travel on. I absolutely love her. I traveled on her again back in 2016 as well as 2019 in Spitsbergen. So she also does our Spitsbergen trips to see the polar bears.
Awesome.
So great cabins from owner suites and suites. We also have twin cabins. So depending on everyone's budget, we do have a little something for every type of budget on this vessel as well. So depending on the size of cabin and the accommodations that they're looking for. And whether it's the ultramarine or the Ocean Adventure, the dining experiences on both of these ships are incredible. So it's generally open dining on the Ocean Adventure as well. One big dining room, whereas the ultramarine does have various dining options, dining rooms. There's also a bistro, but on the Ocean Adventure, everyone is dining together in the main dining room. So great food and cuisine is not just because it's an expedition doesn't mean people aren't fed well, Kathleen.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
And then this is our main hall, our lounge. So that's where a lot of the expedition briefings are happening and the educational programs, as well as people gathering in the bar after a great landing and conversing and seeing their pictures and going through. Sometimes people don't want to go back to their cabins after having such an exciting outing. They want to mingle with other guests. So this ship also provides a great opportunity to mingle with other passengers.
That's awesome.
So there's great spaces on the Ocean Adventurer.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole point of being on these little vessels is to get off, as I mentioned earlier. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to close today, Kathleen, without chatting about our off-ship experience. So
Yes.
Quark Expeditions offers the largest portfolio of off-ship experiences than any other operator.
Mm-hmm.
So we get everyone very close to nature with not only our expert guides and these innovative itineraries, like landing on the Greenland ice sheet. Incredible. So
Yeah.
we have so many adventure options that
Mm-hmm.
are paid, but then we have a lot of included options and activities. So like the polar plunge, that infamous
Mm-hmm.
polar plunge, that is included on every departure. Various levels of hiking, from contemplative walks or even just someone exploring the shoreline
Mm-hmm.
to intensive hikes and everything in between. With Zodiac cruising on the little rubber boats. We also have heli flight seeing
Right.
included on the ultramarine in areas of Greenland, the Canadian Arctic, and then also in Antarctica for heli flight sightseeing in Antarctica on the ultramarine. But then what's included is the Greenland ice sheet on our Greenland Explorer and our Greenland Adventure program. So I really wanted to highlight those included options while we were discussing Greenland today.
Yes. Amazing.
But there's also paid adventure options like sea kayaking, or it's a
Mm-hmm.
designated sea kayak, and it's the guest kayak for the duration of the trip. We'll try and go out as many times as possible. It is an additional adventure option and a paid adventure, Kathleen, with Quark Expeditions, because we actually hire guides. We have a support Zodiac that goes out with a small group of 10, 16 paddlers.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not just about getting a kayak and having it included. We actually have a lot of care in our equipment. We provide all the equipment, everything from personal flotation devices to booties, little wet booties, the dry suit. So we are actually providing so much equipment for each guest in
Yeah.
these experiences with our expert guides.
Right.
So it creates a very unique adventure option in the polar regions.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have the inflatable kayaks as well for guests that maybe want to go one time only for an hour and a half or so to paddle with a small group, again, led by an expert guide.
Right. And I mean, just the thought of taking out one of the sea kayaks and going like right up to the glacier and almost being able to touch it, or seeing the whales or the sea animals, that would just be a phenomenal highlight to the trip. I think that's amazing to do that.
And Kathleen, I love that you brought that up because I had traveled to Quark Expeditions for quite a few years before I even decided to do an excursion, an added adventure option, because there's so much included with the program. I didn't want to overwhelm myself with activities, but I ended up doing in Svalbard the day paddling program. And so I went for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And you're exactly right. It was so beautiful to be right quiet with the hearing the ice and the icebergs from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
And then we spotted this seal out on this iceberg, and it was so beautiful to stay a safe distance but experience and witness this creature in such quiet solitude
Mm-hmm.
with just 9 other paddlers and our guide, and everyone was so silent, and it was a remarkable intimate experience. So you're absolutely right, just having that different approach than the Zodiacs on the water.
Yeah. And that's something you're going to remember and reflect back on for years to come. It's something that's important to do.
And then we also have added adventure options too, like in Gems of West Greenland on the West Greenland itinerary, there's things like mountain biking or the Greenland Adventure Program this summer. We also have things like heli landings. So just depending on what each person is looking for, there really is something for everyone. And I know that's being used a lot now, is there's something for everyone, but there truly
There
is
truly
a
is.
little something for every type of level of activity.
Mm-hmm.
For someone who's really active and someone who's a leisure traveler, Kathleen, with Quark Expeditions.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much to take the time to chat a little bit about Greenland and what Greenland holds, because it's really this mysterious, gorgeous part of our planet that is really yet to be explored. I think Iceland is very popular and I love Iceland. It's absolutely gorgeous. But I just feel like a lot of people are now going over to Greenland to explore that because it's so close to Iceland.
Right.
But also it's becoming that next Iceland destination because it's so remote, so unique, and not very many travelers are there. So I highly recommend people to think about Greenland for their next destination that they want to travel to.
Absolutely. And, you really want to travel with Quark to Greenland because of all of your activities that you have, your experience in the area and everything. And I think that you're the best cruise line to explore Greenland and just to get into the heart of the country and to see it the best way that you can. So I hope everybody has a great week. I want to thank you also, Cara, for putting all that together. It was just fabulous. And I will see you all next week. So have a great week, everybody. Goodbye. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's cruise chat. It was really great to meet with Cara to go over some of their activities, and I am blown away by what they do in Greenland. To be able to take the complimentary helicopter and to go and stand on the ice sheet, that is something that so few people get to do, and it's so remote and just that is such an amazing memory to have for the rest of your life. That is just phenomenal, and there's really not a lot of good descriptive words for that other than phenomenal. That is a once in a lifetime thing to be able to do. I hope that you enjoyed watching this cruise chat. If you're listening to this on the go and you want to see some of the images, check out our YouTube channel, Plenty of Sunshine Travel on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube and you'd like to listen to all of our episodes on the go, check out Cruising the Waves podcast, and it's on all of your favorite channels. So by all means, go and subscribe to that and to download some of those, because it's really nice to be able to listen to all 119 episodes just on the go and to sort of tune into the cruise lines you're most interested in learning about. I thank you so much for subscribing and for following along. It means the world to me. Next week, I'm going to be meeting with Hillary from Avalon Waterways, and we're going to be looking at some of the really, really exciting itineraries as well, and just having fun meeting with Hillary once again. So thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next week, and I hope you'll join me on some of our group cruises. If you go to my website, Plenty of Sunshine Travel, you can check out some of all of our cruises I have listed there, or just send me an email for an updated list, because sometimes I don't have a lot of time to update my website as much as I'd like to. I'm very busy serving you guys, so I don't have, as many hours in the day as I would like. So they may not all be listed. Just drop me an email, info@plentyofsunshinetravel.com. I'll send you a list, and I would love to have you join me. As we mentioned, this year, I'm going to be going to Iceland. We are doing that in July 23rd to 30th on Seabourn Ovation. I am also doing an Explorer Journeys cruise, and that one is in October. I believe that it's October 13th to October 20th, and that is a Canada New England cruise, which is beautiful for the beautiful fall colors. Absolutely stunning. Plus a ton more. I am always cruising. I'm always heading out there and seeing new things because I love cruising. So by all means, send me an email and I'll give you an updated list, and I'd love to have you come. So thank you so much for joining me this week, and I will see you on board, or I'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.